What's up, guys? We are having ackee. It's a Jamaican dish. That's what it looks like when you open it. You cannot touch it when it's closed because it's deadly, okay? And then this is what ackee looks like when it's cooked, okay? So I'm half Jamaican. I was adopted. And here we have tea. Let's say grace and let's eat. Dear God, bless this food in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So we're going to take the first bite. It looks like egg, if I'm being completely honest for people. I'll show you guys when I get up. It looks like egg, but it's not. So it's healthy too because it's a plant. All my dad added was you add some bacon, onions, thyme from the garden, chive onions from the garden, tomatoes, a regular onion, a little bit of, probably the only part that's probably not healthy, but it's little crumbles is the bacon and then tomatoes. And it's really good, guys. I grew up on this. My whole life. My little brother does not like it at all. He will not eat it. He doesn't like the taste. Some people don't like the taste. Some people do. I like it. It's really the only thing because I'm such a, I guess you could call me a wimp. I don't like spicy stuff and I don't like bones. So a lot of people say I'm not black. They say I'm white. So who cares? I grew up around white people. I really don't give a crap. But what's so funny is I had black friends. So that's what I think is so funny because yes, I grew up in the suburbs. Yes, I don't talk ghetto and trashy and whatever, even though I'm not against those people, but it just needs a little bit of salt. Yeah. So, I want to be honest with you guys, but anyways, so I wanted to show you guys this and then I'm going to go show you guys the backyard because we've upgraded it from the last time you guys saw it. And just talk to you guys. Pray for my dog. She had her teeth done yesterday and she's just not acting right. Usually she bounces back by the second day. She hasn't eaten. She's not drinking. She doesn't really want to go for a walk. We have to trick her to go for a walk. So my parents just rushed her back to the vet and PetSmart to see what happened. She's limping a little bit. So you got to be careful. Make sure you watch your dogs because if your dog acts a certain way when they go there and they come back, be careful because some of these places have basically, have hurt people's dogs. So be careful. So anyway, only thing I don't like about ackee is the pimento seeds. I don't like it. But let me know if you guys want me to do some more Jamaican dishes because I finally learned how to make codfish and cabbage. I love it. It's a salty fish. A lot of people don't like it. That's why you're supposed to soak it and then cook with it. I like the saltiness sometimes. And then my dad makes fritters and I don't really know how to make fritters really good, but my dad said he'll teach me. So that's a good blog. And then it's funny because my dad's Jamaican, right? Born and raised in Jamaica. He actually went to the same school that Jennifer Lopez went to, the same school in the Bronx, or Queens. I don't remember which one it is. And then my mom was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. So Texas has a lot of Mexicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, all of them, right? So my mom grew up on tacos and breakfast burritos and very good barbecue. So I love that about just the different cultures. So my mom would cook different stuff and me and my brother would tear it up. We would eat it. My dad wasn't so much of an enchilada person because he can't do cheese. He's allergic to dairy just like I am growing up. So it's kind of funny because I'm not blood related to them, but I was adopted. So technically there's just a little paperwork that says I'm legally their child, but they're my family because that's all I know. They got me when I was 4 months old. So they're all I know. Anyways, so being adopted, right? They didn't know when they got me that I was deadly allergic to dairy. I grew up in the ER. Fun fact, if you guys don't know that. I grew up in the ER. If it was not for the ER, your boy wouldn't be here. I'd probably be dead. If my dad did not have his really good medical insurance with the Air Force, I would be dead. There's no way they could have kept me. My lungs, as soon as they would get fluid in them, they would collapse. And I'd be on a machine blowing, it would be, like that to try to help my lungs move. And I always hated this. It pissed me off. All right. So I'm in the hospital, right? I'm coming in because I can't breathe. My mom is like, and it always would happen like this. Little story time. So it always happened like this. Okay. So, and my body would always get sick when it would get cold in Ohio because we would get below zero. So my mom was always make sure I was warm. She'd give us a bath at nighttime. lotion us down, put us in our PJs, and put us in bed, right? And we would always use our sleeping bags during the wintertime because it would get really cold. So, anyways, she would hear me hacking and coughing, hacking and coughing, hacking and coughing, hacking and coughing, right? And, she'd have me come in the bathroom, do a treatment, all this different stuff, and I would just cough, 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 cough the whole night, right? 3 a.m. in the morning, she's like, okay, I've had it. My child's done suffering. I'm done. So, my little brother would be scared, but he would be asleep. He would stay with my older siblings. So my dad, if he was in town, he would keep my younger brother and come see us later, or he would go to work in the morning and then he would come over to the hospital where I was at, right? And so she would get me ready, put my jacket on, put my shoes on, put me in the car. We would drive all the way out there. Then they would put us in the waiting room. She would sign us in. I'd be hacking and coughing and feel like I can't breathe, feel like I'm dying. Be like, Mom, I'm dying. I just want to die. I'd be like freaking out because I couldn't breathe. So, I'm a little kid. So all I want to do is sleep, right? And so I have my little teddy bear and I just want to sleep, but she's like holding me and I'm trying to sleep, but I can't breathe. And then the doctors would always come in. It was, for whatever reason, when you're a little kid, people seem so tall to you. I remember this tall white man. Why do you say it like that? It sounds so racist. This really nice guy. He was really nice. His name was, I don't remember his name, but he was super nice. A lot of these people are going to school, but they're working at the hospital. So this was almost like training for him. So he's like, all right. He's like, okay, Matt, come with me. So I go with him. And he puts me in a really cool wheelchair. They push me down. They put me in my room. And ERs back then, this is like the early 90s, guys. So ERs back then, you would just pull the sheet and that's it. But you could hear everything else going on in the ER, right? And this is on the base. This is on an Air Force base type of thing, right? Because that's where all our clearances were. That's where we got our medical stuff. So my mom would be sitting with me. So they had me take off my shirt, put on that little gown, hook me up to all this different stuff. Give me albuterol. Albuterol opens up your lungs and everything. Give me that. I'd fall asleep finally. And then she would be trying to keep me asleep because, they'd be coming in every 2 minutes trying to do different stuff. And she's like, can my child just sleep, please? And then they'd run a bunch of tests, is he keeping up on his shots? Does he have an inhaler? Do you have a nebulizer? Do you have insulin? Do you have albuterol? Do you have this? The list. My mom is like, yeah, we're doing really good. It's just when the weather changes, he always we know when he doesn't feel good because I was a talky kid, super hyper. But when I'm sick, I'm sick. I'm just quiet. And I have this look on my face that my family knows when I'm sick. I just have this look. Usually I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm talkative. But when I'm sick, I'm just quiet. They're like, you're not feeling good. I'm just like, how you know? They're like, because we know you're not feeling good. I'm like, yeah, I don't feel good. They're like, duh. Even to this day, they know when something's up with me, when I'm sad, quiet. They're like, what happened? And I'm just like, no, I'm good. They're like, no, something's wrong with you. But anyways, so finally they would be like, almost about to discharge me. So then my dad will come in from work, because he'd be working somewhere else on the base and he'd come over to check on us. And then he would be helping me get dressed and everything. They'd be like, okay, Mrs. Cross, you're doing a really good job with him, but we see him every year this time, blah, 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 blah. So then they were like, so I'm like, Mom, because I didn't eat, right? Remember? I didn't eat. The time I ate was probably like 6 o'clock the day before, right? So I'm hungry. It's like lunchtime. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So we were there all morning, basically, right? So my dad's like, okay, well, you were good. So we're going to take you, I'll take you to McDonald's. And then, my mom would go downstairs to get like all the medication and they always had a McDonald's. So he would take me to the McDonald's. I'd get a Happy Meal and just sit with him. And then my mom would take me home. And then my little brother would be all happy. You're alive. You didn't die. He was always scared that like something was going to happen to me. And I know he's probably to this day. And his daughter has it now. That's what I think is so funny because his daughter has it. That's his blood daughter, right? And then I'm not really his blood brother, but just by law. And so it's so funny because he's like, bro, I got this. Like he told his wife, he's like, I got this. I watched my older brother go through this. He watched me suffer. So he knows when his daughter's having an attack, he knows all those symptoms. So I thought that God works in so, it's cool, but it's just like, it's sad too, because it's a scary disease. You can never grow out of it. I will say I had it bad when I was younger, but when I hit 14, I could have a little bit of cheese, I could have some ice cream, I could have some milk, and I would not have such a bad reaction. I still cannot do Velveeta cheese. That just messes me up, just like my mom too. I can't do too much cheese or I'm stuffed up all night. So, but then I hate dairy, but I need to eat dairy to keep your bones and all that stuff. That's what the doctor's telling me, especially on this diet that I'm on. But anyways, I don't know where I went with that. No, honestly, I don't know where I went with that. But, excuse me. I don't know why I told you guys that whole long ass boring story, but I don't even know where I was going with that. Basically, just to say that like I grew up in a culture that was like you had Puerto Ricans and Mexican food, and then you had Jamaican and Dominican and all that type of not Dominican. You had Jamaican, Cuban, not Cuban, Haitian, even African too, because we had a lot of people. We were a home that we would do international studies, so a lot of international people would stay with us. We had this guy named Jonathan who stayed with us from Africa, from Ghana. He was so cool. He bought me one of those, I forget what the outfits are called, and then he made us peanut soup. Oh my God, it's so good, guys. You would love it. With peanut butter and chicken and everything. And it looks like brown dirt, but it's so good. Oh my God, I love peanut soup. I think I'm calling it right. If there's any Africans, tell me if I'm saying it right. Is it peanut soup or peanut? It's not peanut butter, but it's so good, guys. You would love it. But yeah, he was from Ghana and he stayed with us for a long time. And me and my brother used to hate him. He was so mean. I remember when we go on a road trips and we were coming to Florida, he came with us one time and he had his own middle seat. And then me and my brothers were behind him, or me and my little brother were behind him. And we had our Minnie Mouse. Why did I say it? We had Minnie Mouse and Mickey. And we would always like play fight and whatever with the toys or whatever, right? Because we're bored. We're in a car. We're young. And the toy hit him in the back of the head and he turned around and said, thank you. And he took it and then he threw it on the floor. And we were like so mad. So what we did was we waited for him to fall asleep, right? And it's like dark at night, right? When we're driving to Florida, right? It's about 18 hours to come down there, right? So we would always stop at Atlanta. So we're driving down. So my little brother's like, okay, listen, he's asleep. The stuffed animal is on the floor. So one of us are going to have to do like a spy mission and go down there and get it. So we would like jump down there and go get the toy and then pop back up. And he didn't know until like the next day, you know, when he saw us with, like, I thought I confiscated that. We're like, yeah, well, whatever. Our life reminds me so much of The Loud House. If you guys have seen that on Nickelodeon, our life is like that. I mean, there wasn't one boy and all these sisters, but our life was kind of like The Loud House. If you look at that, or Cheaper by the Dozen, or some of these other movies where people have a lot of, like The Duckers, even though ours wasn't so strict like The Duckers, but we were like that. Or John Kate, whatever it was called. We were kind of like that. Our family was like that. If they did TV shows back then, we would have probably done a reality show and been before all of these people. But anyways, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. I didn't even finish it. I'm already full, guys. Like, look at this. But it's so good. But yes, okay, so today, my parents were supposed to be going to my brother's wrestling meet. They might still have time because they don't need to go until 5 o'clock. So they might still have time. So I thought about going just to record it, but I'm like, I don't know. Because some people might not want to be on camera. So I think I'm going to stay home. And then Monday, I have an interview in the morning for Pizza Hut. Let's see if I get it. Keep your fingers crossed. I put in another interview for Universal. So let's see if I get it. And then I put in, and then I have to do an ultrasound on my leg to see if they can get rid of the knot. So keep your fingers crossed and pray for me. And then I have that at 3 o'clock Monday. Remember that, to see if for the doctor to see what's going on with my leg. Then Tuesday, I have to do the pill for my throat. I have to swallow a pill that puts a dye all the way down my body just to see if I'm digesting food right. Because if I'm not, then he would decide on what he's going to do next. Because he did say my throat does feel swollen to him. And then he said with the type of surgery that I did, sometimes it can mess up stuff. But I said, no, I had this way before the surgeries. I have had this since 2016. So I'm like, I've had this for a long time. So then that procedure is March 25th. So about a few weeks from now. And then things look like they're changing again. My son's in a relationship again with the same girl like last time. So I feel like my summer is going to probably change. And I already told him, I said, look, last summer you were, and I have no problem that he's in a relationship. I'm happy that he's in a relationship. But my thing that pisses me off is he expects me to just be in Florida and just be here because he has like anxiety if I leave. And I'm like, look, last year, I stayed home the whole year last year for him and for Jama. I saw Jama more than I saw him. I saw him in February of last year. February. It was me, him, and his Nana. We went to Golden Corral. They're closed now. And that only happened because of his Nana. If his Nana didn't think about it, I would have never saw him in February. Then March, I don't think I saw him in March. I don't remember. I don't remember what month it was. We went golfing. I'll have to go look at that picture. But we went golfing at Sky Golf and had fun. No, I think that was way later. I think that had to be like before my parents left to go to DC or after. No, I think it was when they came back from DC. We went and did Sky Golf and had really fun. And then that was the summer. And then August, he went back to... Oh, I did see him in August because he came over because I bought him clothes and they sent it to the wrong house and it came here. And then he just got to hang out for like a few hours or whatever. And we did see each other then. And then after that, I didn't see him again until... I mean, I saw him every day on the phone. But I mean, like, face to face, I didn't see him again. And then when my brother died, then when he came back, when my parents came back, they were like, okay, he can come over again and spend the night. But then he had a girlfriend. And so every weekend he was doing something with her, just randomly, like, hey, get ready, I'm coming to get you. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I had no problem with it. My thing is just don't hold me hostage in the state of Florida and not let me go do stuff and flip out if I do and get angry at me when you're not even going to be here to hang out. So that's like my thing. It's like, I want to go. So I have New Orleans in May that I'm going to go. He's already mad at me about that. So, hey, it's cool. Then June, so from New Orleans, I'm going to fly back to DC. From DC, I'm going to be in DC for a week. And then, no, I think it's just a few days. I think it's about a week. It's about a week. Probably from June 1st until like June 9th or 10th. And then my sister and my nieces, they go on their cruise. They fly to Barcelona and leave out from Barcelona. And that's an 11-hour flight. So he should be happy I'm not doing that one because I was gone for 14 days. And then I'll come back and I'll be here for June. But my thing is, I'm not sitting here. Like, if I don't get a job this year, and I pray to God I do, that would be the only thing that would slow me down on traveling. But I promise you, if I do not get a job and I get this knot off my leg and you see the ghost? You see the ghost? You see that? You see that? And I just charged this light yesterday. If I don't do anything, but if I don't, let me eat. I just want to finish it because my mom is always, you got some, you should have finished it. It's a little bit. I'm doing portion size. This is 1 cup. So, one of those things again. I just got Aki on my book. But I'm not sitting here. Because last year I was so bored. I was so miserable. I was so angry. I'm not sitting here. Because when I come back from June, my plan, because I mean, he's young, right? And a lot of people are like, I don't even see like my niece during the summer really, right? Because she's just so busy with her parents doing stuff, having fun. And I know it's not all about me. My thing is just, those are two people that like hate when I leave. They hate when I leave the state of Florida. They flip out, like literally. And I mean, hey, it is what it is. They love